our urban councils are in a bad state across the country. Some of the problems are actually man-made. There is corruption, nepotism, theft of money and equipment, and outsourcing of major services. We have low income that is coming to our cities. But we think that the state of affairs in our urban areas is a microcosm of what is happening in the entire country. But our urban centers are characterized by dirty roads and inappropriate service delivery systems, decayed and dysfunctional infrastructure, rampant and runaway corruption, a polarized and poisoned political working atmosphere, and dwindling revenue inflows. This is affecting the cities. But we have another problem that is affecting the cities. The government has not yet fully implemented the issue of devolution. It is important that the MDC team be allowed to run the cities. And this is what we are going to do. We are working on a plan to revive service delivery within the system. We submit that these problems that we are facing must be tackled by all Zimbabweans, and they must not be made a political issue. We read a few days ago, Mr. Masimire Mbuga, the ZANU-PF chairman for Harare province, seeming to enjoy what is happening in Harare and wanting to take advantage of it politically. That is not in line with the new approach to politics. We must embark on service delivery for our people first. So in other words, ZANU-PF cannot set us up in order to then outcompete us when it comes to election. We want to tackle corruption, and as the MDCT, we have taken the first step to tackle corruption within the urban areas. We have recalled some of the councillors implicated in corruption. But we also realize that most of the land barons, in fact all of the land barons that we know of, are ZANU-PF. And ZANU-PF must take steps against those land barons. They have not done that. So it would be unfair for ZANU-PF to criticize the MDC without playing its part in the eradication of corruption. We, as the MDC, want to advocate for the return of the executive mayors. Right now in Harare, we do not have the substantive mayor is not attending to council business because he is on remand. And one of the bail conditions that he has is that he shouldn't come to the townhouse. He was also suspended by the Minister of Local Government. The deputy mayor, our choice of deputy mayor, Councillor Lakson Mkunguma, again has been suspended by the Minister of Local Government and is unable to attend to business at townhouse. We have acting mayor, Mr. Stuart Mtizwa, and we also have an acting town clerk. So the substantive town clerk, substantive mayors are all on suspension. And we call upon the Minister of Local Government to expedite the cases, especially the cases that in respect of which he suspended the mayors. We want a return of the executive mayors. This is in line with the principle of devolution. We also want a separation of service delivery and business. What you see in most cities is that besides doing service delivery, the cities are also engaged in business. That is a mistake. We want to go back to the plan that was sponsored by the Frederick Newman Foundation in respect of Harare, where service delivery was separated from business. We saw the creation of the Harare Sunshine Holdings, which is the business unit of the city, and then with the subsidiary companies that are under it. It is the same model that was used in the development of some world-class cities or growing cities like Kigali, Johannesburg, etc. We also note that the city council is hamstrung by poor revenue collection because the population is poor anyway, and with COVID-19 the collections are low. So those are some of the things that are affecting service delivery. But we also note that the local government board has not been appointed. This local government board is the board that approves the employment of certain grades of employees within council. If you go to townhouse today, most of the executives there are in an acting capacity. For example, the chamber secretary is still acting. His name was submitted to the local government board, but the local government board cannot sit because it has not been appointed. So we call upon the Minister of Local Government to expedite the appointment of the local government board, or to agree with us that the city council can appoint and recruit those executives. Ladies and gentlemen, we also call upon government to pay its dues to the city council. I think I'm correct to say that it is the biggest debtor to the city council. Our view as the MDC is that we must not play a blame game. We must solve the problems that are bedeviling our cities. We have a lot of challenges that we face as a nation, the problems of poverty, the problems of unemployment, and the economic challenges that the people of Zimbabwe are having. We must resolve these things together. And we call upon the government to engage with us in dialogue to resolve the issues that are affecting the city councils. I have had a meeting with the Minister of Local Government, Mr. July Moyo, where I pointed out some of these things and the corrective measures that we are going to be taking as a party. We are going to be supervising more the work of the local authorities. As you know, we run 28 out of the 32 local authorities. So we are going to be supervising these local authorities more. And I have created within my office a branch, a desk, to deal with the supervision of local government as well as determination of policy of the local government. Yes, we have taken action against certain councillors accused of corruption, and we have removed them from council. That is as far as we can go. We have removed them from council. We have removed them from engaging in the affairs of the people, because we believe that they were not suitable. So we did take action. And I need to flash your mind back. Some time ago, under President Morgan Changrai, we actually removed the entire Chitunguza City Council. Because that's how seriously we view corruption. The duty to arrest, the duty to prosecute is the duty of central government. And unfortunately, they have not, as far as we know, they have not arrested enough people. But that's the duty of the central government. Remember, the electorate in 2018 gave us separate mandates. Our mandate was to superintend over the local authorities because we won convincingly in all the urban centers. And of course, ZANU-PF then was given the other mandate. And one of the things is that ZANU-PF is running the executive, and the police fall under the executive. So if they are not arresting corrupt people within council, if they are not arresting corrupt people within the government, if they are not arresting land barons, then it is certainly their fault. This brings me to the question that was asked by Tafat. Who are the land barons? First of all, this government has intelligence apparatus. It has got the CIO, it has got PC, it has got military intelligence. It has the capacity to detect these people, and they must not have difficulty in doing that. But if you just look at some of the land barons, I'll just name one for today. There's a very interesting gentleman called Mr. Mabamba in Chitungwizi. He is a land baron, there's no question about it. Although he has been arrested here and there, I have not seen where he has been prosecuted or where he has been convicted. And we also know that there are a lot of housing cooperatives that were formed by ZANU-PF. And originally ZANU-PF under Mugabe wanted to encroach into MDC's spheres of influence. And they had these land barons having these settlements as a way of getting votes in the urban areas. But they created a problem. They created land barons, and they have to fix those problems. We have had people settling on wetlands, and we saw the problems just a few weeks ago when there were those raids and all that difficulty that it generated. So the land barons, ZANU-PF, the government, has got the power to investigate them, the power to identify them, and they must use that power. And these people must be arrested whether they belong to ZANU-PF or not. So the problem of corruption has to be completely depoliticized for it to be attacked. So when we are dealing with a corrupt person, we are dealing with a criminal. We are not necessarily dealing with a ZANU-PF member or an MDC member. We are dealing with a criminal, and the law must take its course. The Minister of Local Government, we did discuss his suspension of the mayor of Harare, Councillor Mafume, and the deputy mayor, Councillor Lakson Mbuma. And I did inquire from the minister whether he understood that it was affecting service delivery, and also the suspension of the town clerk. So at one point in time, we had a city without a mayor and without a town clerk, and that is a recipe for disaster. And I was bringing this to the attention of the minister that by his administrative action, he had caused that state of affairs. And he assured me that they were going to expedite the cases, that they, in respect of which they suspended the mayor and the deputy mayor. And in particular, I did draw his attention to the provision of the Constitution. And the Constitution says that a mayor can only be removed in the same circumstances that a president or judges of the High Court can be removed. And it is through setting up of a tribunal. I did ask the mayor, the minister, why he was not setting the tribunal. And he assured me that if he thought it fit, he would set the tribunals. But we are sure that the mayor and the deputy mayor will be removed from suspension very soon. We also need a town clerk. I understand that Dr. Chonzi, who is acting right now, is asked to be given only a month. So we have pressured the mayor to make sure that we have a town clerk, an acting town clerk. We cannot appoint a substantive town clerk because the current town clerk is still available, but he has been suspended. and he's facing criminal charges. All that has to be expedited. But I was happy with my engagement with the minister, and we did agree that that is the approach that we needed to take. We needed to tackle the problems of Zimbabwe together and through dialogue. And we have started dialogue with the minister, and we are waiting for his response, his positive action in this regard. We want the cases of the mayors to be dealt with as a matter of urgency. I mean those cases that have to do with the suspension by the minister. I hope that the minister is going to expedite that. The local government board, the minister has to appoint the local government board. He has not done that. And as a result, we have a lot of people who are not substantive office holders at the municipality. We also noticed that although there was a strategic plan for Harare, that plan that was sponsored by the Fred Newman Foundation, it was basically abandoned after ZANU-PF thought that the implementation of that plan would benefit the MDC. So they put politics first. Ignatius Chombo and company Kasukwere, they put in politics first and abandoned the implementation of the strategic plan. We want to return to the strategic plan. And what I advised the minister is that I was going to instruct the council, the city council, to go back to the strategic plan. Of course, they have to revise it because that plan was made, I think, some time ago, and it is to be adjusted. And that plan works. And basically what we are saying is that we must separate service delivery and business of the city. And the business of the city must be done by experts in business who will attract investors and so on. So I think that plan has to be implemented. I also had an opportunity to see the former mayor who was there when that plan was being conceived, and we discussed with a view of returning Harare back to that plan.